For part 2, we're going to identify the shape and write the equation of them. Now, I want to start with number 23 because it's an ellipse, and ellipses are, got to draw an ellipse. Of course, 23 we know is an ellipse by its shape. Now, ellipses are used quite a bit. So, I'm going to write out the equation of the ellipse. It's x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared equals 1. Now, hopefully you guys remember something back from Algebra 2. A is what we call the horizontal radii. From the center, how far out do I go? B is what we call the vertical radii. So from the center. So if I'm starting at the center of my ellipse, right here, and I count out to the edge of the ellipse horizontally, that gives us A. To get B, we go down, like a disco clown. So B. So I count those. So in this case, A is going to equal 1, 2, 3, 4. And B will equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. Now, we also need H and K. H and K, remember, that's the center of our ellipse. And that's easy enough to do. It's at the origin, 0, 0. So now I write my equation, x minus 0 squared over a squared, which becomes 16, plus y minus 0 squared over b squared, which is 36, and that will equal 1. And there's the equation of our ellipse. Very easy to do. Let's take a look at the next one, the parabola. I like to write the equation of a parabola. Now this is a parabola. It's opening up, so it's going to be our equation, y equals 1 over 4a x minus h squared plus k. And h and k, so we need a couple things. We need h and k. H and k is our vertex, sometimes called the center, I guess you can do. So the vertex is going to looks like it's at the origin, 0, 0. So if I write my equation as my vertex, I get this, y equals 1 over 4a x squared. Now the last thing we need, 4a, we need to find a. So to find a, we're going to use any other point that we know on the parabola. And they tell us the point 46 is on the parabola. So I just write that in. So I get 6 equals 1 over 4a times 4 squared. So we get 6 equals 1 over 4a times 16. Cross multiply, 24a equals 16. And then I divide. A equals 16 over 24. And you can reduce that. We get, what's that? They're both divisible by 8. So I guess I get 2/3 if you want to. So equation, y equals 1 over, ugly, 4 times 2/3 x squared. But we can't accept this as an answer, so I'm going to keep simplifying. 1 over 4 times, what's that? That becomes 4 times 2 is 8/3 x squared. And I'm going to flip that to get 1 over something becomes just to flip it, 3/8 x squared. Yuck. And there's our equation right there. Alright. So, go on, try number 19. I will tell you this. Remember the equation for an ellipse. This is a hyperbola. Remember the equation, x minus h squared minus y minus k squared over is a squared and b squared equals 1. And we'll go over that one tomorrow. So you got like 3 problems to do today, okay? Alright. Next, let's take a look at how we graph parabolas real quick. Graphing a parabola you should know how to do. Normally whatever works. If you like transformations, that'll work. But if you want, this is okay too. To graph a parabola, the first thing you need is your vertex. Okay? To get the vertex, that's easy. This is horizontal, so that's h and k, so it's 4, 2. The next thing you need to know is a. A in the parabola is the distance from the center to the focus. Is the center to the focus. So to get A, we're going to look at here, because remember it's 1 over 4a. So because, remember the equation of our parabola, this 1 over 4a, so I look down here. 1 over 4a has to equal 1/8. That's pretty easy. A is going to be 2. And that's going to give us our focus. It's going up. So if I start sketching it, I graph my vertex, 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. A is 2, and it's positive, which means my focus is 2 above the vertex. If it was negative, it would be below. So I go up 2 units. Right there. There's my focus. Vertex, focus. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find what's called my focal length. Or if you want to know its true name, and I love this, it's the butt of all math jokes, it is called the Latus Rectum. That's just funny. Anyways, we're going to find the Latus Rectum. Now, the Latus Rectum is the length from the focus to the parabola. And that is just 4a. That's the focal length, which we already know what that is. That's 8. So what that means is from the focus, we go 4 units in both directions. Therefore, it's 4 in both directions. So I'm going to go 4 to the right, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gives me my parabola. Remember this distance right here? That's our focal length. Okay, we like the term focal length because if your eyesight, so if you work with a camera, you have a focal length. So for those of you photographers out there, you deal with focal lengths and everything. So it's kind of cool. All right, let's do part 8, number 8, the last one. Okay. This is our sideways parabola. So when we find our vertex, remember it's HK, but it's sideways. This is my H. My K is actually 0 this time. So it's -3, 0. And I really messed up on this one too because it should have been 4, -2. So we're going to fix this problem by making that a +2. Easy way to fix this without having to redo the problem. We'll make that a +2. Otherwise it should have gone down 2. My bad. So next we're going to get A. To get A, we look at here. 1 over 4 has to equal 1 over 4A. Easy breezy. A is 1. So because it's sideways, this is 1 unit right, because it's positive, of the vertex. So if I were to graph this, graph your vertex, -3, 0. There's my vertex. 1 unit to the right. There's my focus. I always think like it's like Pac-Man. The parabola has to eat the focus. Yum, 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 yum. Okay? Now, next we have to get the focal length, or the latus rectum. The focal length, that is 4 times A, which we know already have it. 4 times 1 is 4. That means this time it's going to be, therefore it's going to be 2 up, 2 down from the focus. So from the focus, I go up 2, down 2. And there's our parabola. Very easy to do. So try a couple of these, okay? And we'll see you guys tomorrow in class. Bye.